Okay, all of this is just going to be the same as before. We're going to make ourselves some components and, oh, we'll do that. Okay. So we'll make ourselves a J-frame, and we're going to need a couple of labels. Actually, I only need to worry about the two buttons, so I guess I'll call them F2C, and have another one that's F2M. Oh, by the way, you can make these private if you feel like it. I'm mostly just being lazy. This is another reason why it's useful to use inner classes to do your event handling, because they can access all the private stuff and nobody even knows they exist. So nobody from the outside who was using the temperature handling class, or temperature converter class will accidentally start messing with your GUI. Well, not accidentally, it has to be pretty deliberate, but they won't be able to do it. Good point. Okay. So I have this. Let's set up our window. So we'll do the usual. I'll call it temperature conversion. And then we have to do our general housekeeping code where I tell it what to do when you click the close button, right? I want the program to end. And what else do I want? I want to give it a layout. I'll just say flow layout for now. We'll do more complicated ones later, because this is the easiest one to deal with. It's sort of same. And I'll give it a size. I'll say at this point I think 300 by 300 or something. Oh, wait. Oh, what do you know? This one doesn't want a dimension. Okay. Victory.
Yes.
I guess they overloaded that one. Okay, so let's build this up incrementally. We'll just do it in bits and pieces. Oh, I forgot to look up the thing that moves it to the right place. But okay, so there's the window. That's pretty much all set up, and at this point, things will work properly. We can do a couple of other things that I haven't. Like, let's make this window non-resizable for one thing. So now I can't actually change the size of this thing. It's perfectly done. And, well, who said what to do with that after? Okay, so I need to make some, make a couple of buttons. So I need a text field as well. In fact, I need two text fields. So let's have a text field for Celsius. In fact, I'll have one for Fahrenheit as well. Okay. Let's go ahead and put down the label. Celsius equals new JText field, and we'll just make that size 8. Okay, so we have one of the text boxes. Now let's just repeat the whole thing with Fahrenheit. I'm going to be lazy. Don't do this, by the way. Or rather, do it when you're skilled enough to get away with it. That's the point. See, I can't honestly tell you not to break the rules, because breaking rules is what most programming is about. It takes that kind of nutty mentality. But wait until you're good enough to break the rules before. Otherwise, you break them and then you're like, everything's not working. I don't know why. Okay. We'll need to do some resizing to make sure that this thing comes out properly. So the annoying thing about flow layout is that you can't just tell it, go to the next line. It's just going to lay things out in one single line. So I'm going to just adjust things. Let me make this, say, let me make this 200. Okay, there we go. A little nicer. In fact, I don't actually need to make this size 8. Let me make it like 3 or something. And it's not the next. Okay. It'd be really nice if I had, what the heck, it's 3 or 7, whatever. It gets simpler if you use more complicated layouts, but I don't want to bring in that complexity right now. Okay, we have this. Let's also put in a couple of buttons. So, actually, I could have shrunk this because I want to put a button right here. Let me do that. So I'll say we have the C to F button. go back to our simply resizing. To make this 250. Okay, there we go. It doesn't really need to be this long either, so let's shrink this down to maybe 150. See what that looks like. Okay, fantastic. So there's our GUI mostly set up. So now we want to add some event handling code to take care of this.